Waiting, traveler.
I have no time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adingo! We're gonna be rich.
I have no time for games.
Inferno!
Good evening, everybody. We are back once again. It's Wednesday. It's 9 o'clock. You know what that means. That's right. It is another fantastic episode of Tavern Talk, the show where we like to talk about all the different series and see what type of hot takes we can come up with on a weekly basis. Of course, let's get right to it. I've got myself a fantastic group of people to join me as always. Let's start off with the OP, my co-host, my partner in crime, Mr. Doctorfeesh. And yes, that was intentional. How's it going, Doctorfeesh?
If I can unmute myself, I am doing well. Thank you very much for asking. I am excited for this one. It's gonna be a bit different formatted, but you'll see as we go along. So yeah.
And of course, as always, we have the man, the myth, the legend, someone who has I don't even want an encyclopedia's worth of knowledge on Hearthstone. Please say hello once again to Always Just in Time.
Wow, I thought you were talking about our guest here, but I'll take
Wow.
it too.
I mean, that's
Thanks.
fair. I mean, that's totally fair. But we're always glad to have you. And finally, we have our guest for tonight. He goes by many names. He goes by many memes. But one thing's for sure, we're all very happy to have him as a part of THL. Please say hello to CMac.
Greetings.
I expected no other response from you. How are you doing tonight, CMac?
I'm doing good. Had a good day. Open cups start tomorrow. Can't complain.
That's right. Now, here's the big question. Are you ready to provide some hot takes tonight?
Fuck yeah.
That's the spirit right there.
It is the
This man
spirit.
gets
Let's
it.
go. He gets it.
Okay, so first of all, just a quick thing to let you guys know. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently tonight. To keep the pacing of the show, and because we have a match that is going to be taking place right after this, we'll be talking about that a little later. We are going to be covering only 3 matches from every series this week instead of the usual 4. Don't worry, we will be back to the usual format next week, but for the sake
Yes.
of this match, we are going to, for the sake of this week and for making sure the match goes on as scheduled, we are going to keep things a little more efficient. So, the order for this week is going to be myself, Justin, and then CMac talking about our matches, and we will, of course, be, trying to, give a good analysis as far as what we think is going to happen and talk about like how excited we are to see these matches unfold. We're obviously currently getting into the thick of things. This is week 7 for Hero, week 6 for Legacy, and I believe also week 6 for
Pro.
uh
Yeah.
for Pro.
Week
right?
6 Pro, week 5 Wild.
Week 5 Wild. That's right.
Yes.
It's very interesting having all of these like series working on very different schedules. Like like let's get right to it with Legacy, because Legacy, for the record, this is the second to last week of the regular season.
Yeah, Legacy's coming down
Crazy.
towards its end. Next week, Next week we will have Legacy standings at the start of the show. Because we'll be able to see a bit of how playoffs will perhaps play out. But for this week we do not have the standings. So yeah, we can go ahead and start right up. I guess we have JR's first Legacy. JR's match first for the Legacy match.
And also keep in mind the format for playoffs is going to be the top 4 teams from each conference are going to advance.
Yes.
With the top 4 teams, with the top 4 teams, that being the top team of each conference and the highest team, the team with the most amount of points between the remaining 9. The remaining 9.
Yeah.
Those 4 teams will have buys going into into playoffs, and then the other teams will be playing. will be doing a play-in match.
Yes.
So basically half the teams are going to be advancing into at least a playoff match at the very least. So that's really what you're looking for. But to start things off, I decided to go with kind of the obvious pick for the Gold Conference, but a match I could not avoid because I don't think I've spent enough time talking about the Gold Conference. I went with the Foolish Madmen, who are 5-0, versus F2L Red, who are 4-1. Now, F2L Red, I think this is kind of obvious because we were talking about them last week. This was their first loss that they got last week. We had talked about how Ribobson had lost his match, and things had gotten off to a rough start for F2L Red, and as we can see, that turned into their first loss. So still in really good shape, obviously, but now they're outside the top spot, and their next opponents are in fact the top team of the conference, the Foolish Madmen. So I'm going right into this. I'm very interested in seeing how, especially the 1 to 3 seed matches are going to play out, because as we see here, we've got a very stacked top 3 for each of these. Foolish Madman have Dardar, our man Justin, and Automated Button, and then F2L Red has Ribobson, Marty B, and Myanodon. Now, especially on the Foolish Madman, Justin, you and Automated Button are 5-0. Goddamn.
Yes, sir.
My goodness gracious. You guys are killing it.
Both are
What's
5.
your secret?
Oh, sorry.
That spicy pretzel monster, I would have to say.
I can see that.
I mean,
Okay.
it's definitely been some variance for me. I mean, I've won most of my matches in 5, so I'm not that high up on the 2 seed rankings despite being 5-0. But Button and especially Jimbo have definitely been dipping on some people. They haven't played too much lighter in the past, but they're both really smart people who have turned it up for this tournament. And Jimbo, especially, I think he's won 3 weeks in a row by sweep, which has been nutty.
That's insane.
That's really good. Yeah. Isn't a lot of this team on the top 10 EPR? That was I don't remember exactly, but I know you and Automated are. Justin is 6th place, and I believe Automated is 3rd or 4th.
If you win games, it turns out people say you're good.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is being in the top 10, like being in the PPR rankings at all, is just an incredible achievement right now because we have more teams than we've ever had before.
Definitely.
Like there are 120 players competing in THL Legacy. That is nuts.
Yep. Pretty crazy.
That is genuinely insane. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a very exciting match. The all of these matches from top to bottom, I think, are pretty exciting, and I'm very curious to see who is going to come out on top. Because Rabobson versus Dardar I think it's easy to pick Dardar here because it's Dardar. He's shown to
Yeah.
be an incredible player. But Rabobson is no slouch. Like his PR, I feel like PR can often be misleading. I think
Yeah.
the way Rabobson has been playing this season, he's going to give Dardar a good run for his money. I know Justin might not agree with that because, teammates and all, but
I mean,
Um,
Rebob, no disrespect to him, but one of these is a THL 1 to 3 seed, and the other is currently lined for promotion to be the next America's Grandmaster. So, I'd back my boy
that
Dardar.
is what's unfortunate. Well, no, not unfortunate. What's crazy is that is completely accurate.
Yeah.
If you
Right?
look
Like-
on the
like, even
official
with
Blizzard
the,
website, he
the
is
changes,
second among the
he still got a
non-GM.
real shot, right? Even with the changes to the new system.
If you look at the current Blizzard website with the current system, or the new system rather, he is second among non-grandmasters. He is only behind.
Holy crap!
I want to say Peacehawk. I'm forgetting, but he's in front of Ego Waffle, in front of Berserk, based on tiebreakers.
Yeah,
in
we're
front
still
of
waiting to
Lee.
hear out all the details for Grandmaster this year, though. That's the interesting thing. A week later, and we've got like information regarding the Masters tours, but not Grandmasters.
Yeah.
Very curious to see what news they're going to have. If there's going to be any like changes to the format, or if it's just that this is going to be like last year, where it's not going to start until like closer to springtime. So either way, I think though the match I'm most excited for, and I said this before the show started, is Justin versus Marty B. Battle of very, very strong 2 seeds. That is going to be a good one. And I think I think what's really cool about this is that both Justin and Marty are 2 of the most knowledgeable players, in my opinion, when it comes to THL and Hearthstone. And I feel like these are going to be 2 like top strategists going up against each other. What do you think about that, Justin?
You're making me blush over here. I mean, I don't think it'll be that interesting. I brought Demon Hunter. He brought Warlock. I'm just incredibly favored. I can assure you that
you might.
I can assure you that one class difference among 2 very good classes gives me a massive edge. No,
For the
Perhaps.
record, if you lose that, I'm going to be holding that against you next week.
no, he's probably the best opponent I've faced so far this season, so we'll have to bring my A game this week.
Right. And then I also think Automated Button versus Myanodon is going to be a good one.
Yeah, Mayan's
Like both of those seem
extremely
too
strong.
good to be in the 3 seed, and that's kind of nuts.
Yeah, he played 3 seed. Like he bounced between 2 and 3 seed last season. So I expect that to be a close one. Automated Button 5-0. Like it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that he ends up 5-1 after playing Myanodon. But he could also obviously win. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and then Jimbo versus the Rotted Zombie. That one, that one also looks very exciting. They're both doing pretty well for themselves. They both seem like really strong 4 seeds. I don't know. I think this Jimbo's obviously got the better record, but Rotted Zombie's also doing pretty well. So I think that one could go either way too.
Yeah.
And then Diamond versus Slad. Slad's the only one on F2L Red who doesn't have a winning record right now.
Yeah.
And he's going up against Diamond, who's a strong 5 seed,
Yeah.
This one I feel like I think is the hardest one to call personally. Because I don't know if there's anybody who you could argue is really super favored over the other.
Assured me he's going to stop missing lethal on stream against OTK Shaman, so I back him.
Oh god.
We're bringing that back.
I heard about that. That's nuts.
But yeah, I mean,
Diamond will bring too many decks and get DQ'd.
To your point earlier, I kind of like this format for the playoffs. So it really feels like everyone's still playing into it, even though there's only 2 weeks left compared to some of the others.
Yeah.
They're kind of locked up. Like, even though both us and F2L have very good records and have pretty much locked playoffs for this point, where it's only 1 team per conference is guaranteed that first round bye, which is huge. With 1 week, anything can happen. It's a game of variance. We really want that bye. So there's still a ton to play for. We're in front of them by 14 points right now, but if we lose like 4-1 or something, suddenly they're ahead of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'll just say I think the playoff format is pretty optimal. We'll talk more about it next week, but I think the only downside I really see to it is the fact that it's not, and that's not even an issue with the playoff format. It's more of just an issue of the format in general. Is that it's kind of unfortunate we only get 7 matches.
Yeah.
Like before the playoffs start. Like I would have loved a couple more weeks, just even if my team would still be out of it. I still would have liked the opportunity. Like I feel like 8 is always kind of the magic number of the very minimum amount of matches I want to have in the regular season. But
Yeah.
that's just me personally.
It's just how things shook out this year.
Of course. Of
Um.
course.
Yeah. So.
So let's move on to the
Yeah.
next
Let's go
match
on to the
then.
next one. This is.
Yeah, we're all in agreement. That's going to be an easy 5-0, right? Okay, cool. We can
You
move on.
wish.
Yeah. I don't think it's a 5-0.
That was a very lawyerly approach though, so I respect the hell out of that.
Yes. All right. Next
Yeah,
match,
moving on.
Justin.
Yeah, it will be talking about the Hot Zilfs versus Dad Legends. So I kind of took the opposite approach of JR. We were looking at a match between two teams, first and second in their conference. These are two teams in the Silver Conference. They're third and fourth in their conference. The Silver Conference is a bit interesting because both red and orange at this point, or not orange, sorry, red and no, whatever. The other two conferences, whatever
Yeah.
their names are.
Red and gold.
Well, actually, I messed up with the gold conference. F2L is actually in third right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. ATL
Blue
overtook
Spartan
them.
pointed out that ATL is actually in second right now. They were 1 point ahead of F2L Red going into this week. So
Yeah.
still really close though.
But yes, anyways, these are a matchup between third and fourth. But unlike the other two conferences where there's a big gap between the fourth and fifth places team of like more than 10 points, this is one where AFG are in fifth place, just a few points back. So whoever loses this, if AFG has a good week, will likely get past, and with 1 week to go, will be and from the outside looking in, need to claw back points for that playoff spot. So
Yeah.
a lot on the line here.
Right.
I talked to Yellow Dart about this, who had some interesting things to say, as he often does. He pointed out that Donde
Yes, he
has bad
does.
opinions 98% of the time. He was very precise in the number.
98%.
But then I pointed out maybe this is a 2% of type of week. But then he countered that they are the reigning champions, so we should give them some respect. Have some diff to that. But
There you go.
Yeah.
in all honesty, he said he thought it would be a great matchup with a bunch of good players, and it will be very close, unlike the last time where they beat them badly to knock them out of
playoffs.
Oh, that's right. 2 seasons ago. That was pretty big.
Also, I think it also happened last season, right?
No,
Zilfs got knocked out by HSA last season.
Yes.
Yes.
Like they had a shot at playoffs at the very end, but they couldn't quite get there.
Well, they were in playoffs, and they got taken out because Dad Legend had a nice week to finish.
No, I'm talking about
2 seasons.
Zilfs, though. Zilfs were one match win away from making playoffs.
Oh wow!
I think 1 or 2. It was very close.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Yellow Dart.
Yep,
yeah,
that was one hell of a season.
But I think this is so interesting because I like some of these matchups. Like Zabe versus Coles is awesome. They are both 2 and 3. I haven't really been keeping track of the records, but I think Coles was 1 and 3, and now he might be coming off a one win streak. Maybe same with Zabe.
Yep.
So both players kind of coming in hot. We'll see who gets the better there. Jamie started off pretty well and is now 3 and 2 and has to go up against the undefeated Your Mum Ked. And then Donde versus Dart. I mean, just record wise, I'd give the edge to Donde because he's 4 and 1. But I mean, Yellow Dart, very, very, very strong player in his respective. Both players are 3 seeds, and that's pretty crazy because they're both really strong.
Be in the 2.
Yeah, Anfall versus Ducharmo. I mean, Ducharmo plays the 1 seed in Hero. He's kind of a cheat code. And Clarity versus Gymphalos will be really cool because they're both the kind. Because Gymphalos is seems like he's been around for a bit. People give a lot of respect on his name, and I can see why. He and I had a really good match earlier this year, and I also had a good match with Clarity, so that'll be a fight. I think this is going to be close, and if this stays close, it gives Amberflight Gaming a chance to come back in with points. Playing, but they are going up against a Noyo team, and that is looking like a scary team right now. So we'll see how it plays out.
Wait, what? Wait, who's going up against him? Wait.
Amber Flight versus Anoyo is this week,
Oh, yeah.
and
Right.
Anoyo's looking really good.
We shall
Yeah.
see.
Featuring Inzi as someone.
Yeah,
I know, I'm
Inzi,
just trying to
Inzi,
see
yeah,
if my
Inzi
team
already
cannot
did.
finish
Inzi
last.
already won. Inzi already lost this week, 3-1 to Neji. So it's
Poor
starting
guy's
off
0 and
well.
6.
Yeah, unfortunate
Rough.
season for Inzi.
But
So yeah,
he can. I guess the upside is he can move down to like the 2 seed next season pretty easily
yeah.
if he want. If he so prefers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like I took over all the talking space that Justin had
No,
after
go
he
for it,
went through
Justin.
it. No, you're completely good. Yeah, those were good points. That's all I really had to say as well.
Oh, okay.
We're getting into a must-win situation of the year, so it's who you got. It's
Yeah.
a bunch of both teams are above 50% in their wins so far. So
Yeah.
only one of them can win this week.
Honestly, the only matchup where I feel really confident about the outcome is Ducharme versus Anful, and even then, I kind of don't want to say that because Anful is like he's beaten some top players who can play like myself who play several seeds above him. So I don't know. It feels like that could easily pull off that could easily become an upset, even with Ducharme being as stated a cheat code.
Yeah. So I feel like Anfall is also way under PR for his skill level. So it'll be a really
Also, Donde versus Yellow Dart needs to be on stream. Just gonna say that.
well,
I
this
love both of these
whole
guys,
week
but
is
I on principle have to cheer for Donde because I love both of them, but Donde is the only one of the two that doesn't like give me headaches at times.
yeah. The problem is that the whole weeks are practically booked, so it won't be on stream,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Doesn't mean I can't say it shouldn't. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean
I
I
agree.
can't say that shouldn't happen.
I agree, for sure. It's definitely a stream-worthy
Just saying.
match. All right, yeah. All right.
CMAC, any thoughts?
No, I think you guys covered it pretty well.
Because I just realized we didn't ask for your opinion on the last match. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
our apologies.
No worries.
All right, well, this one is all you.
All right.
We're gonna go see Mac's match. We're gonna let him give the rundown and give his thoughts on this one.
All right, so this one I definitely picked this one for the players and not at all for the team names. So in the 1 seed, we've got classes. Actually, I can maybe make some more informed opinions here. All right, so Irving's got Demon Hunter, Druid, Mage, and Paladin. And Notorious GHP's got Demon Hunter, Druid, Rogue, and Warrior. This is Conquest, right?
Yeah, this is Conquest.
Yep.
Conquest close list.
I think that Mage is gonna struggle against the classes that Notorious brought. So I'm gonna say Notorious is gonna take this one.
Hmm.
And we've got. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
All right, so then in the 2 seed, we've got Mini versus Icicles. I just watched yesterday, right? Icicles sweep with Druid on stream for his hero match, so he's definitely got the momentum. So I'm gonna give it to him. Nicholas versus Homage 10. Don't really know too much about these guys. I guess there's a pretty big PR difference. Yes, I'll give it to Homage. All right, Charep.
A mage. A mage.
Yeah, it's a mage.
My
I
apologies.
always make sure to do that because of the time. Like he was very nice about it, but he was like he wanted to clarify it's a mage, not a mage.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, and then in the 4 seed, got Cherub versus Risen. Okay, you know what? I know Risen is 05, but he's gonna turn it around this week. He's gonna get his first win.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Risen's so good, and he's struggling so much in Legacy. It's so weird because he's doing well in the other
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, no, I
Right.
mean he's a really good player. He just
Struggles in Legacy.
I don't know. He's just having an off season. I've
Yeah.
seen that happen before.
Yeah.
I'm just more surprised by the fact that he's been struggling so much just playing in the 4, though. You know, like the 4
Mhm.
seed's really strong, but that's not the
Yeah,
place I would expect him to struggle, of all people.
for sure.
All right, and then in the 5 seed, we've got Jolt versus Kotomoro.
I can give you classes for this one actually because they're not on the
Ooh.
screenshot, but they're in now. So Jolt
If you
C
go to the
has
website, right?
he has brought Druid, Hunter, Paladin, and Rogue, and Kodomora has brought Druid, Priest, Rogue, Warlock.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I guess yeah, it's always hard to say here, right? Because in the 5 seed, some of the classes we'd normally consider weak actually can work out fine.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
the I feel like the priest is kind of the weakness here. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to give that to Jolt.
Mm.
Because yeah, I think the priest is gonna struggle to get the win. So yeah, I guess
Priest is in a
that'll.
very interesting place right now, I will definitely say. So I see the logic there.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess there wasn't a mini set, right? Maybe he knows something I don't.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I watched Avi make some crazy 8 p.m. Priest plays over the weekend against I want to say it was Dardar. I'm not, or maybe it was some. Oh, it was Fasho. It was his pro match against Fasho.
Mm.
He did some crazy 8 p.m. Priest stuff.
So yeah, I think I
Definitely
have
just
it.
feels like there's a lot of interesting options, and like people are still really exploring them for Priest. You know,
Yeah.
fair amount of experimentation we're seeing.
I feel like this meta is one of the, or maybe it's just because it's so new that it's not solved yet, but we're going through this for one of my teams. It feels like there's a tier 3 or above viable deck for every single class, and especially some of them, they're not even refined yet, so they could get better. It's
Yeah.
frankly the most.
No, I think that's accurate. I think at this point, some classes are really becoming like more viable, and the way they've been shaped has been fascinating. Because, like, especially looking at Shaman, where Evolved Shaman was really obviously the big thing for a while, and now we've seen recently how more people have been trying out a bunch of different things like Aggro Shaman, and even then, there's like multiple forms of Aggro Shaman. Like there's still Control Shaman, like. I feel like with a lot of classes, not just that there's at least one deck option available, but there's like multiple. You know, it's like it seems like just because somebody's bringing a class doesn't mean you necessarily know what they're going to bring. That's at least what it feels like right now.
Yeah. All I know is I don't want to get Naz Dormund.
Well, which one?
the the
One of
ramp.
them's banned in THL, the other isn't.
Yeah, that's true.
I forgot that's still banned. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't put 8 mana Naz Dormu in a deck. Like if you get one generated, then sure, but I
No, no,
think
it's 9 mana. Remember?
the 9 mana Naz. Sorry, well the 4 mana Naz isn't, and 4 mana Naz is
Can't put
making
8 mana
waves.
Naz Dormund into your deck. Can't put 8 mana Naz Dormund into your deck either, because it doesn't exist.
Doesn't
but-
exist. Yeah, nine mana
exactly.
Naz. You're not
This
allowed
man
to.
gets it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's also kind of funny because Marty B was the one that was that's been really hyping up Nas Paladin or Ram Paladin these past few days, and he's your opponent, right, Justin? So it's
Mm.
very likely you might get Nas.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I might not
Yeah.
enjoy it.
I actually don't know what his legacy lineup's gonna be like. I'm one of his hero teammates, but I know that they're not playing each other in hero, so that makes sense.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, do we want to move on to Hero? Speaking of the devil.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we got a first match is JR's, and we're moving into the Hero Purple Conference.
Oh yeah. So I decided Hero was going to be like at the very least one match where I was like, is there an exciting match happening in my conference that I can justify picking for this week? Unfortunately, there was. That would which would of course be Vote of Some Confidence versus Dad Legend. And as we can see here, Isocles taking down the man, the myth, the legend, Ron Mexico 3-0. Dear God. I
Y'all
did
should
not
watch,
see that coming.
y'all
Any
should
of you
watch
guys
the
see that
VOD of that
match?
match.
I
Yeah, it was
did.
on
I
stream.
did. I watched it from start to finish. Well, actually,
on
that would
stream,
that would make sense. I casted the match.
Right, that was
me,
on
I watched the whole thing. Wait, no, I actually casted it. It was a lot of. It was a lot of fun. It was it was quite interesting. Like Isocles, full admits that it was a bit of a. It was definitely a high roll match. Like Isocles got really everything he needed against Ron's decks, and Ron Zoo, which probably had the best chances, didn't quite draw, and Isocles was able to pull it into that later stages with Cenarian wards and just gaining lots of armor to kind of seal that specific one away. And it came down to Lifesteal Demon Hunter versus Druid, and Ron just could not quite get there. He was he just got hit with a lot of armor and couldn't quite get through it. Yeah, that was super exciting. I mean, it was fun to cast. Would have liked to have been more than 3 games because I would have loved to watch these guys go a full 5, but can't tell what's gonna happen every match.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Classic hero.
When I played Ron last week, our match basically came down to game 1, where I was so sure I had the victory, and I was not. I didn't think he could possibly have an answer, and he did. And boy, did that mess me up for the rest of the match. It was still a great one, but oh god, it's one of those matches I'm still kicking myself for. I kind of wish it had been on stream just for the sheer craziness of it all.
Yeah.
Also interesting to
But
note.
this whole match.
No, go ahead, Justin.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, interesting to note that this is the second team of Diamonds that we are talking about that is 5-0, but which Diamond has a losing record on. So he's a very good captain, even when he's not captain in this team.
Yeah, Sage knows how to pick teams.
Diamond's also in chat, so I'm curious to see his reaction.
They call it the Diamond Gambit.
Yeah.
Construct
yes,
team,
the Diamond
perform
Gambit. I
approve. To help everyone do well. Lose yourself, but it doesn't matter.
I don't know if this makes it more or less funny, but the fact is he's playing in 2 different seeds between those series too.
Yeah,
he's in the 4 here.
He's a pretty good. He's a good 4 seed in Hero. Like, but I think he feels teams more at home in the 5 seed in Legacy.
Yeah, but it also should be noted, I picked these teams because it seems like I feel like in a certain way these teams are like going to be so hard to take down as far as the top 2 teams of purple. My team at this point is just like, all right, we're going to try our best to turn things around in the last 3 weeks. Because like we are almost 30 points behind Dad Legend.
Yeah.
And we have a bye this week. So it's just like we gotta step it up. So we're hoping that like we can at least get like we're banking more on a wild card spot than anything else, really.
Yeah, there's a couple of teams in every conference who are doing that right now.
Yeah,
especially in purple and orange.
To our advantage is like orange, for instance, is in the same boat as our conference, where the top 2 teams are just dominating, and then the bottom 3 teams are like way behind.
Agreed. Yeah.
So when we get to in a few weeks, when we get to like week 10, we'll be talking about more of the playoff implications and what that's going to look like as far as the 8 teams that are going to make it. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, anyways, top 2 teams of this conference going head-to-head. Dad Legend only lost against Vote of Some Confidence when they played the first time. So Vote of Some Confidence looking to complete the duo, which will most likely be their extension to the top seed in their conference, as you noted, given how far ahead these 2 teams are from everyone else in the pack.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Dad Legend's only 8 points behind, so if they win this week, it's very likely that they may actually steal that top spot from under Vote's noses.
Yeah, there's a good chance if they win this that's what would ultimately happen.
Yeah,
it's very close.
No buys like in Legacy, so I mean seeding does matter to an extent, but only 8-game sample size season. I'm not confident that's high enough sample size to truly distinguish between the difference between like an 8 seed versus a 5 seed in strength. So not
Right.
quite as big a deal.
Yeah, it'll be quite
Understood.
interesting.
It always feels good when you have that little 1 next to your name.
There you go.
For sure.
I
Right.
think I just think the matches for this week though are going to be very exciting. Isocles versus Ron Mexico sounds like it was a lot of hype despite it being so one-sided. Lotus Knight versus Heat Shock, I would love to see, but I'm trying to think if they played each other in pro before, because like these guys, in my opinion, should have faced each other by now.
They
And I feel
probably
like they have.
they probably have. There's a chance they played because
I'm
bad to
gonna
the
ask
bone
Lotus
and
Knight about
wash.
that out of curiosity because I don't think they have, but I could be wrong. Because that's the thing with pro. Like Lotus has always been a really strong player in pro, but I
Yeah.
don't know if he's ever been at the 1 seed. So I don't know how that would,
Oh, yeah. I don't
if
know.
he and Heat Shock would have ever interacted.
Possibly last season with bad to the
Right.
bone and the Washing Mishas because I think Heat Shock was probably manning the 1 seed for that team almost all season with them struggling.
Right.
And Lotus and Avi were probably there was obviously other players on that team that were getting in that 1 seed area for bad to the bone last year.
Yes. Yes.
But I actually don't know. It would be cool if you could like look at somebody's stats versus an opponent, see like their match history. But either way, I think you hit a lot of the really good points on this match.
The only other thing I want to mention is the fact that I think the 3 seed match is also really exciting. Not
Yeah.
just because Ridiculous Hat in the 3 seed is, well, ridiculous, pun intended, but
Yeah,
also he's playing against Starlax, who's his legacy teammate.
that is true, and we did see
So that's going to be a fun one for
Yeah,
sure.
and there was Starlax dance video recently, so
Yes, go on Twitter.
he might have he might have the mojo back. Could potentially lead to a big upset over Hat.
Yeah, that dance video for the record was long overdue.
Nice. Yeah, we called
Seriously.
for it last season.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And we might have said something I think we said something a couple weeks ago actually.
We might have. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
then
yeah, that kind of sums up this match. Shall we move on to the next hero match?
of course. Oh, thank you for posting that in chat, Justin. I appreciate it. And this one is Justin's match. We're gonna head to the Orange Conference.
Yeah. So, to what JR alluded to earlier, it's quite the race between some of the teams not in the top 2 of spots of their conference for these 2 wildcard slots. So those are just based on total number of points. So feels a little bit unfair for some of the conferences are unbalanced strength, but hey, that's the system we have.
Yeah.
So currently, those 2 wildcards both belong to Teal, with 4 teams in Teal very even in the pack of points. But presumably, as they face each other in the final weeks, some of them may lose and drop off a little bit. So actually, a Gungan Among Us, even though they're 47 points bottom of their conference, because they have that game in hand with their bye last week, if they're only 20 points back, only 20 points back of that wild card slot. So if they were to 4-1 this week or 5-0, then they would actually use that game in hand to be into that last wild card slot. Presumably they win their final few weeks. They definitely have an opportunity here, even though it looks like they're just on points alone. They're pretty out of it. And meanwhile, on the other side, Servants are only 8 points back of that playoff spot, though they don't have that game in hand. But 8 points in 3 weeks is definitely very doable. But both of these things are predicated on one of these teams beating the other this week. So it starts to become a lot less doable when either Agua doesn't make up those 20 points they need, or if Servants does not get the win this week and falls even further.
Yeah.
I think this is. I feel like we're right now in a spot where the top 6 teams, the teams that are guaranteed, or at least 4 of the teams, seem pretty clear. Like they're not set in stone. But when I'm looking at the point difference in orange and purple between like 2nd and 3rd place, it's like it's definitely unlikely that gap is going to be made up. With 3 more matches left to be played for these teams.
Yeah, not for first, second, but
Right. No, like first, second is obviously that could fluctuate a fair bit, but like the top two teams are like still so far ahead of everybody else in orange and purple that it's hard to picture it playing out differently
Yeah,
at this
but
point. I mean, we'll see.
it's going to be really hard for our team because we already played Tonk for our second time, and we took another brutal loss to them. I think we managed
Yeah.
to, I don't even think we managed to get the same amount of points we got first time. However, we do have a new perma sub coming into our team. With Adamos stepping away, I believe, from almost all of his teams. And taking a sub. We have Harash coming in the 2 seed. He is playing in pro currently. Oh gosh, I have to remember his team now too.
Action, I believe.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
Harash is on
Faction.
Harash is on faction. Um so I'm gonna be really interested to see
Really
how
good,
he
though.
gels in with our team.
Yeah, I actually played Harash in Pro week 1, and he beat me. Yeah, he's a very strong player.
Yeah, Farash currently 5-1 in pro. He's already played his match this week and
Yeah, he did. He won.
swept Ataki.
He swept it. Oh wow, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. Anyways, I reached out to both Darian and Neji about this, and Darian, when I informed him about this 20-point plus point week being quite good for them, he said that's asking a lot for us, but he'll try to rally the troops and tell Avi to stop bringing Quest Rogue.
Good luck with
Oh,
that, right?
Avi.
And
I
then
gotta.
on the other side, Neji, he said, yeah, 8 points in 3 weeks, making up that ground definitely seems doable. And in fact, his exact words were easy claps, whatever that means.
Easy claps. Let's go, Neji.
And Harash hopefully coming in to give you guys the boost. And then he specifically called out you as well, Fish, with your 5-0 performance in Legacy.
Yeah,
Hoping,
I am slacking super hard in Hero.
if some of that can start to translate over to Hero, which seems very doable, then could really make this week season surge.
I don't have any easy weeks ever in the 5 seed in this conference. So there is a chance I could win some of these, or I could even end up just losing out completely and being a huge reason why our team would miss playoffs. I think
no pressure.
No, this played
Exactly.
this match played out in week 2. Our team won the only person who lost against the Gungan last time was myself. I lost a very tight 3-2 against Darren. With Neji, at that time Adamos, Marty B, and Mako all getting wins. So we'll see how this one plays out.
I mean, look, you got 3 matches left. This is a week to kind of start mounting a bit of a comeback for yourself, and I think you guys are still clearly very much in it. That's kind of the beauty of the wild card situation, where we've got a lot of teams fighting for those 2 spots. There's still plenty of time for you to. There's still a lot that can happen that can really that can still allow you to be put in that spot. You guys being in 3rd place right now can be very important.
For sure, definitely.
Especially down the road. So, I'm rooting for you guys.
Thanks, man. All right, so let's move on to the next match, and this one is CmacComp's pick.
Don't tell the others, but I'm rooting for you.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it. All right.
So here we've got ATL versus Tonk. I hear this Tonk team is pretty good. Mostly because it's being carried by Turtle.
Yep.
Who hasn't lost yet.
Nope. But you're 4-1, so that's nothing to slouch at.
Yeah, can't complain, but so yeah, let's see. We've got in the 1 seed, we've got Blue versus Justin. So I know last time they played, Blue narrowly won, so I know Justin's eager to get his revenge, so he's gonna win this week.
Justin, can you confirm?
I saw Blue in the chat earlier this week, or earlier this show rather. So I don't want to give away my full strategies, but I'm planning on beating him. That
is a good strategy.
Good strategy.
We thought about all my options, and that's what we settled on. So.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right, and then in the 2 seed, we've got Kid versus Turtle. Last time we played, I was in the 2 seed and I lost her Mumked, so this time we've got an upgrade, and Turtle is gonna kick ass as he always does.
And chew bubblegum?
Yes, at the same time.
There we go.
Yay.
All right, and then the 3 seed, there's this Tuna guy versus this other guy. I hear it's happening on stream very
Yeah, it
shortly.
is.
Yes, that match is our Wicked Wednesday match.
And yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. I know the last time me and Tuna played last season, I lost, but I was kind of memeing then because we were already qualified. But I'm tryharding this time.
I was gonna
Alright,
say you guys want that top spot. I can tell.
Oh yeah.
facts. Alright, and the 4 seed, we've got Risen versus 9. Yeah, that one's gonna be close, but I feel like classes wise, 9 kind of has the edge because he's got that Paladin and Risen doesn't.
Paladin good. But
Yep.
I think, well, yeah, I'm very interested in seeing how Warlock does, because I feel like I've been seeing some I've been seeing a lot of Zoo and Questlock, and I'm not sure how to feel about the Questlock.
Yeah, I'm the same way with the quest lock. I'm not sure. I haven't seen what it's actually supposed to do.
I normally feel good.
I mean, it's
I normally feel good when my opponent plays the quest. It's like the
Yeah.
Catherine animation.
I know, I
normally
do
win.
too. I always feel good when my opponent plays the
right.
quest.
Well, I mean, the basic
They
strategy
also
of it
always have the
is,
quest on 1.
yeah, spam your the new demon dude, the new legendary,
Rustwix.
and like you can keep reviving it with the demon prime, with the warlock prime, and then you're just guaranteed to get like great value off the hero power if you like run out of cards or something. That's basically the idea with it, at least.
Yeah. I am wondering if that's even like, I mean, that's a really good bring. I know Zoo is really strong. In a lineup where I see Paladin and I have Warlock, I tend to like Galakrond lock quite a lot, but that's just me
Same.
personally.
It,
I've used that to great
Tickets
success. The ticket is like Galakrond.
this is great.
I've used that to good success against Paladin in Hero this season. Yeah, that's about the only class I've done well with in Heroes Warlock.
I mean, it just seems
Tickets
really
is not a
weird. That,
meme. It's really good.
it
Yeah,
seems really weird that our opponents aren't bringing the best deck in the game, Ramp Paladin.
yeah.
Hopefully that'll get well
It
for
also
them.
depends.
I still have to test it,
I have some good testing
but I
on.
hear good things.
I've done some small sample testing, and I like it. But yeah, and obviously the bottom match is Matty Ebbs versus Skirt Reynolds. Skirt and I had a very tight series last week that came down to aggro DH versus Soul DH, and he did not run out of gas before I could reverse fortunes and heal up. So he won the match 3-2.
Damn.
It was a good one. It was one of my 3 favorite series, and I actually lost this, and I lost the series.
Right. I mean, as long as you had fun.
Oh yeah, that's the point. All right.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be exciting. ATL is doing very well in the series right now, and in Hero they're just killing it. Like Blue Spartan has the worst record on the entire team, and he's 3-2. So
Yeah.
that kind of tells you everything you need to know about the way they're performing. Like everybody
Mhm.
is just like they're 5-0 for good reason. That's really the bottom line. When
Yeah.
you've dropped only 5 matches out of the 25 you have played so far, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah, for sure. And ATL was extremely slept on coming into this season as well. I had them.
No.
I think that a lot of people had, well, Gungan was the team that everyone was like, oh, this team's gonna crush, and then Tonk and Servants are also like super strong. Like it was a scenario where people were looking at it like, well, this conference is absolutely stacked. Like ATL and Darkside are gonna struggle for the most part, and Blue and Blue and his squad have absolutely shown to be them and Tonk have shown to be like the class that has been the teams that have been performing. Like I still don't think
Yeah.
I still don't think a Gungan is a bad team. I just think they're having an off season. If they were to come back
Right.
all fired up in next other seasons, then definitely like yeah.
Yeah,
Like
to be fair though, right? Like last season, ATL
struggled.
sort of had an off
Yeah.
season,
Yeah,
and it was mostly the same team. But it looks like they, as you guys have all said, they've completely turned it around this season.
definitely.
I mean, they definitely made some big roster changes from what I
Wasn't
recall from
wasn't
last season.
Blue wasn't playing on the team last season, right? He
No, no, no.
just
Blue Spartan is the thing you got to remember about him is he pretty much always plays in Hero.
oh, he
He
plays
never
Hero.
plays in Legacy.
I know that. Yeah, you're
And
right.
Blue can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I've known him long enough where I'm very confident. Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know the full ATL team from last season, so
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, at this point, ATL, it's like they've just been around long enough where I'm never, if they struggle, I'm surprised, but I always feel like they're in a pretty good spot. They're never a team where I feel like they should really be slept on that much because they've shown that no matter how much their rosters change, they
yeah.
find ways to be very successful.
Oh,
Right.
all the better when we beat him this week.
Yeah, so before we go to commercial, Blue has said that he's played a few seasons in the past, but not of late.
Yeah, yeah.
Played.
He used to play in both. The past several seasons, he's only been playing in Hero. He is correct
Yeah.
about that.
Cool. All right, let's go to the commercial break. Take your time on this one, I guess. I am going to go step out for a second. So go ahead, Justin, and take our commercial break.
Mexico, watch out. This is the very first Always Just in Time commercial break. Thank you so much for tuning into Tavern Talk. If you are enjoying our show, make sure you check out Around the Saloon on Mondays and Hearth Center on Tuesdays. Hub dub dub dub. Is that not enough content for you? Well, we stream THL matches each night from Thursday to Saturday, starting at 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. All evenings match scheduled to be determined by caster and player availability. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. But wait, that's not all. We also have incredible matches weekend afternoons on Schoolstone. Precise times and days subject to availability or whenever we stop yapping on this show tonight. Please consider subscribing to our channel. This subscription enables the THL team to help cover costs of various costs of operating our website, as well as improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. If you have Amazon Prime/Prime Gaming, you can sub to our channel for free. Subscribers will also get a THL emoticon, as well as a lovely THL chat badge in sub emotes. And if they are lucky like myself, they also get a Hype Train Leader badge, which I'm not sure how I got. So hit that heart button, keep the notifications on, and make sure you catch our team broadcasting live. We appreciate each and every one of you, especially never mind. Special note to our viewers, check out THL's other social media points of interest, website, Twitter, Discord, and THL How Podcasts, wherever podcasts are distributed.
Woohoo!
I could not have done it better.
That was professional.
I think I
Extremely professional.
that was V1. Well, you come back next week for the V2. You'll see even the refinement.
We'll see. So we are officially halfway done, but we're about an hour in, so we're going to probably try to pick this up a little bit. We've got the Pro Series now to talk about. So I will start by talking about Hype Horizon versus Swagaway Red. I kind of have said before I'll look for any excuse to really talk about Hype Horizon, but I wanted to pick them this week because I like the fact that they're going up against a team that I know like they're that I don't really see I don't necessarily think they're going to give Hyper Horizon their first loss, but I don't think Swagaway Red should be slept on either. They're doing decently right now with a 2-3 record. 3 of their players are 3-2 right now. The other 2 are sadly 1-4, but I don't think they should be slept on. They're a solid team led by the very talented Edelweiss. She is honestly very talented player. Really, somebody you should follow. She's done a lot within the Hearthstone community and absolutely deserves your attention. And then, of course, Hype Horizon, they kind of, the team speaks for themselves. I've said this before. They're the same team from last season. They're continuing to dominate. They are made up of incredibly talented players. And if they go back-to-back championships, I will not be completely surprised. So at this point, I think Hyper Horizon is in really good shape, but I really don't want to count Swag Away Red out so easily either. What do you all think?
Yeah,
It's gonna be a uphill battle for Swagway Red, but I don't think this will be a. I think it'll be close. I do think Hyper Horizon is gonna win, but I think Swagway Red is gonna get on the board a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Certainly, from my season experience of playing pro last season, it definitely felt like on teams that are organized and together, like it sounds like Swagger Red is, you kind of live for you. You come to play THL for the competition. You kind of are excited for these weeks when you have tough matches and really tune up mentally. So I guess that's the extra problem of a team like Hyper Horizon. Of you go, you smash everyone last season, you win the title. Now you have this big target on your back, and
Yeah.
every team's wanted to knock you off, but so far 5 have tried and 5 have failed. So
yep.
I wouldn't say
Right.
Swagger Red is going to be the one to upset that, but at the end of the day, upsets do happen. So
Right, and I really
um,
want Swag Away
um,
Red to succeed. That's the thing. That's what's kind of frustrating about this because I know this
Yeah.
is going to be a very uphill battle for them. But they're also a team that I feel like we definitely slept on early on in the rankings, and I really think that they could easily turn this around with how knowing we're just about at the halfway mark.
Yeah,
So
I mean, many of the players on Swagoi Red. Obviously, Edelweiss is fantastic as a player and as a person. We have Revi, who's also a fantastic player. I don't know too much about Doctor Chosen. I obviously know Glocko is, he's a
well
fantastic.
known.
Like, no, Glocko is obviously a really uh well known for being a really good player in Legacy. I know he's playing obviously here he might also be playing Hero as well. But I just remember him like dominating last season from the 1 and 2 for the team now Golden Common, by the way. And then Brasky also, I mean, those two struggling is not obviously great for Swagoi Red, but if they can turn it around and get some good wins, like they're obviously facing like extraordinary talent in Hyper Horizon, but I believe they're up for
Right.
the challenge.
100%.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, I would say that's this is a very strong team. It's just pro is tough, and it's also really worth mentioning how tough it can be to succeed in the open list format because it can really prove to be a completely different animal compared to closed list. At least that's what I found from my experiences.
yeah, also tough is the pro or THL rules rather. When there's 22 teams like there are in pro this season, split into 2 conferences of 11, and only the top 4 out of those 11 make playoffs.
Right.
Uh, So, unlike
But
other series in Hero, where more than half the teams make playoffs, or Legacy win exactly half, this time it's barely more than a third.
yep, this is well,
Definitely,
it's funny because like normally it's like just under half the teams make it depending on the makeup.
Yeah.
Um, so like this is the first time where we're having more than 4 teams make it to playoffs or pro series,
Hmm.
which will make this
Yay.
a very different kind of watch, you know.
Yeah, pro playoffs are gonna
And
be
this is also
insane.
actually the first team where we've had 11 teams in each conference. That's kind of the funny thing. We've never had a 22 team series like period. Like that this is just kind of pro is having all sorts of firsts this season.
Yeah, this has also been the shortest season for a while, right? Because normally we had 12 teams, and there was what 11-week season,
Well,
and now
right, but it's technically 11 weeks because of the bye week.
oh the bye, yeah.
So
Okay,
it's actually the same amount of regular season matches. Playoffs is just going to be 1 week longer.
that's right. That's right. I keep forgetting because we haven't had our bye week yet.
I know it's weird because it's like I almost forget there is a bye because again, it's like a very odd number of 11 teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, shall we move on to the next team or the next
Yes.
match?
Yes, indeed.
yeah.
Right.
Justin, who did you just decide you wanted to talk about today?
He just wants to make
So we
hungry.
got the tap washers from a decent number of them from the University of not St. Louis, freaking
Isn't it Washington?
Washu!
One of those. Against the Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich. So CMAC, of course, is on the tap washers alongside Bill Snyder, who I don't believe go to Wash U, but with their friends
No,
there that
but
do.
they were on Tap. Some of these players are from Tap Last 103.
Yeah. So it's the tap last combined with the Wash U niches.
Yes.
So, but yeah. So I reached out to Bill Snyder about this, who said he sent it around their Discord a little bit, but he's facing Myanodon this week, which is going to be a tough matchup for both of them, given how good friends they are. So Myan said he's going to have to do something he really doesn't want to do, which is to see Corbin lose. But Corbin on the other side says that has noticed that Myan has been doing a lot of casting recently, and wants to be him so badly that he may want to contemplate staying in the caster's desk next time.
There you go.
Nice. That match will be on stream as well.
That will be a good one.
But yeah, I mean, Popeyes, of course, coming in with all the hype that they so deserved and have backed up so far this season. Tap Washers not quite as hyped going in preseason, but have really proved they have some mettle. They've brought some spicy lists. Perhaps they should be the Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich with some of the decks they've brought. And then there's Heat Shock, even taking it to the extreme. But
I mean, they're doing pretty well. The thing is, Tap Washers, they kind of combine partially because both of their teams, after having really good seasons 2 seasons ago, really struggled last season. So now they're combining in themselves, and you know what? Now they're actually doing much better by comparison.
yeah. And Bill Snyder also wanted me to point out that Raising Cane's is better than Popeyes.
I have
Yeah.
no stakes in that, so don't care.
Me neither. But yeah, and also shout out to Ufric for being a great prep partner and MMW for having the best attitude on the team, apparently. So
Nice.
shots at CMAC? I don't know.
See, you are an encyclopedia's
reading.
worth of knowledge with how much you know.
Heck, reading's not enough attitude and personality?
That's okay. MMW is pretty cool. I'm not offended.
And you get to face Wet Goose this week.
Yeah, I looked him up recently because I didn't know who he was, and I found out I was already following him, and I looked up why, because this guy is apparently top 16 or something on all 3 servers at one point, so I guess he's okay at the game.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, this one looks pretty solid. I'm still a little disappointed that my team barely lost to Popeyes last week. It came down to Myanodon versus Boolean, and Boolean could not pull out the win for us, unfortunately. So, but I feel like these guys are they're doing both these teams are doing pretty well. They're looking solid going into the halfway point of the season. So hopefully they keep up that momentum.
Mac, do you want to spoil your pro lineup for us so that we can predict whether you'll beat Wet Goose?
Oh yeah, CMAC. Any?
I don't
I'm
think.
going to bring
if you could give us an exact one,
kind of got rid of all the bad classes, so I can't even make a joke lineup. Huh?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Darn.
I
Well,
believe
I'm gonna bring.
Yeah, Hearthpawn could help you out if you're looking for some bad decks. I believe MD has experience with that.
There we go.
There you go.
Gotta go to Hearthpwn.
But
yeah.
So shall we move on then? I will just end by saying I think Zabe versus Heat Shock is going to be extra pog. I'm excited for that.
Yes.
Yeah, top of Hearthpawn right now is Phoenix Burn Shaman.
Heck yeah.
75.4% win rate.
Let's go.
I bet that would
I've
have
actually tested that deck. It's pretty solid. Like spell damage shaman is kind of nuts. I actually think I think that deck could actually get better if Druid rises in popularity because they've got that AoE card that can destroy boards of with Soul of the Forest.
Gotcha. Right.
It's kind of insane.
You're talking about the new one, right? Not the old one.
Yeah, the new one.
Earthquake or landslide. They both
Landslide.
they have similar
Landslide.
meanings in normal language, and they have similar uses of destroying token druids with Soul of the Forest, open dreams.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the card itself was, even before Druid was becoming a thing, it was honestly pretty absurd when I was testing it. Like, being able to deal that much AoE pretty easily is just very powerful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I
definitely recommend testing it out.
I played a control shaman who ran that card as ramp paladin, and it took me a very long time to finish them off. But I eventually won.
Yeah, of course you did.
I mean, even if I had lost, I still would have brought it up, because that card, I was so surprised by that card. Anyways, let's go to the next one. CMac, go ahead and give us a rundown in your thoughts.
All right, so this match is Cirque versus Bad to the Bone. In the 1 seed, we've got Ray C versus Avi. So yeah, I think as long as Avi doesn't bring meme decks again, should be pretty close. Probably get
That's a pretty big, pretty big if.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta bring
That
that.
seems highly, yeah,
He's got to bring that Highlander paladin.
No, I mean, what's going to happen, right, is Al is going to post the list, and then Avi's going to see it and say, oh, hey, that looks cool. Let me try that.
And then we're all going to be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one should be close. Maybe I'll give the slight edge to Racy. It'll go to 5 games, though. All right, and then in the 2 seed, we've got Clone versus Dardar. I think Dardar takes it. Yeah, Dardar has been, I know this past weekend has been studying the new meta pretty closely with the mini set, so I think he's ready to dominate there. All right, in the 3 seed, we've got Easy Bake versus 9. I actually played Easy Bake in the Philly tournament this past weekend. He eliminated me, so I'm gonna cheer for 9.
not just because of teammate, but because. Oh no, you're not on this team. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but my hero teammate, sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. 9 is your hero captain.
And then in the 4 seed, we've got Fanboy versus A2. I'm gonna give the edge to A2 here, just because it looks like A2 is being subbed in. He's probably taking a break from Hearthstone for a while and coming in with a clear head. So yeah, I think he's gonna have the edge there. And then in the 5 seed, we've got Higayon versus Lotus Knight. I think this is the week that Lotus is gonna get his first win in Pro.
Yeah, and I think it looks like A2 is subbing in for Adamos, which would make sense because Adamos is, I think, probably subbed out on all of his teams. So I would expect A2 to be the perma sub for this team. I think A2 has actually been on this team in the past, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He has, yes.
Yeah.
He used to be a member of them for a while now.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yep.
Right. I think this match is super interesting. Because they're both sitting at 55 and 54 points. They're not that close to the other teams that are above them. However, I think with the players on these teams, if Lotus really starts hitting his stride and starts winning, if A2 comes in with the clean mindset and just starts taking matches as well. Dardar has only played 2 weeks of pro this season. I know he took a couple of sub weeks, probably right around when finals were for colleges, and that's obviously completely understandable. Like CMac said, if Avi starts buckling down and getting playing some really like super strong decks, he can definitely make a mark. I think that Bad to the Bone can end up being a threat. They were very, very strong last season. I believe they may have either just missed playoffs or they were maybe like the final playoff team.
No,
in there.
they were the second to last. They were the third place team, if I
They were
remember
third
correctly.
place. Okay, cool.
The fourth place team was F2L because
Yeah,
they beat
they
us by
barely squeaked in over due process. Yeah, I
Yep.
know. I know, JR.
F's in the chat.
F's in the
F's
chat, everybody. Yeah, and that's Pro Series. Pro Series is shaping out really nicely. Like, I know that Heart Center goes over the standings every week. So if you want to really get a really good in-depth look, they have really good insights over there. That's our Tuesday night show.
Yep.
Yeah, so now we're gonna transition
break
into
down.
Wild. We're gonna try and go a little quicker here through Wild because of the match, and it's supposed to be starting right around 10:30. So I've left us so much time for the end of this. All right, JR.
Yeah, well, it's at this point, we don't have Wild is where we have the least amount of stuff to say, so we're gonna try to keep things pretty quick. I decided to go with Noyo team versus Mad Scientist because both these teams are in pretty solid position going into like the halfway point of because it's 8. Is it 8 weeks? Or
It might be 8
7?
weeks. It might be 8 weeks. I actually don't know the length of the Wild season. I'm pretty sure it's going to be probably 8 weeks. Like actually no other series is 8 weeks, so it'll be 8 weeks on its own.
7 teams per conference in Wild, so is it going to be 6 weeks?
But I know
no, they're playing. There's cross conference matches, so
Okay.
there's going to be probably 8 or 9 weeks total.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So give us the rundown here.
Either way, this is going to be 2 pretty solid teams at this point. Mad Scientists are 2-2, but they're definitely still very much in the running. But a Noyo team here, you've got MGG Squirrel to win Slate all 3-1 right now. It's me, Mike V at 2-2, and then Masil.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how to pronounce it, but I think you're right.
1 and 2.
You're close.
So these guys are doing pretty well for themselves. I think they're definitely one of the more slept on teams because it's like they're not like when you talk about like the teams that are the most successful right now. Obviously, your first thought is F2L Meridian, but an Oyo team, they came in second last season, and I don't think they've like fallen off the radar. But I wonder like if they're getting the attention that they really deserve.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't bring
place for nothing.
No, they really did well last week, and I think of all the teams I looked at, I was not gonna. I decided like there's no way I'm sleeping on Dwayne and his team at all. Like they're all strong players. Like a lot of there are the teams that are more well known and have been hyped. And I think Anoyo just felt just slightly out of that. But if you ask people now, they look at them. I mean, I look at them and I think that they're definitely one of the major contenders coming out of the Brown Conference.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, and I mean I recognize not that many players on Mad Scientists, but they're both. You got 3 2-2 players. You got Glare who's subbing in. Might be a perma sub at this point. I'm not 100% sure. At 1-0, so he has won his week. So his last week, and then Tomato is the one who is struggling for Mad Scientist. If he can pick up wins, that will be a great benefit for his team.
Yep.
Especially because everyone's about 500, so it seems like the weeks where they might not be getting a lot of wins in the weeks that they are losing, and they might be getting a lot of wins when they are. So I didn't go back and look at their match histories. But yeah, I think I would favor Anoya in this one overall, but I can definitely see it being close.
Yeah, I think we'll end up seeing what happens.
Sadly, we do not have class submission any of these matches. But Marty B did a really nice breakdown of a lot of stuff. Yeah. They have a lot of good Wild breakdown when they have someone like Marty on, and we had someone last week who was really good for Wild.
Yep.
So yeah, let's move on to our next match, which is what CMAC has picked.
All right, so I picked Seas of Cheese versus Hey Loser, and I only picked this team because I recognized the people in Hey Loser, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it
I mean,
looks
I think
like
both of these teams are pretty notable, as far as the players on them.
Yes.
oh yeah, that's true. I was only staring at the 1 and 2 seats. Yeah, you're right. I know some of those guys too.
I was gonna say, if you don't know who the 3 through 5 seeds are, I'm like, what are you
Oh
doing,
yeah,
man?
I mean, you literally have three. No, it's two Legacy Hall of Famers. At least I don't think
Yep.
Lemur's a Hall of
Yep,
Famer.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Rami is SGM hasn't started yet, so I guess he's got all the time in the world to dedicate to Wild, which looks like it's paying off, right? He's undefeated. Expect him to win his match this week too. Let's see. Siege versus Memnar. Uh, I'll give it to Memnar just because I've heard of him.
Yeah,
Memnarch is really good,
Memnarch is
but
top.
Siege is not one to be counted out of my eyes.
Memnarch is top 10 Wild Legend on NA currently. As far as last I saw, he
Right.
was ranked 9 last night. So yeah, he's
That's
outstanding.
insane.
And last week he went a 3-2 match with Mr. Python in Wild on stream, and Mr. Python brought 2 Tiller decks, which is an OTK deck that is pretty gross the way it works because kind of it's abusing the interaction between Wretched Tiller, Hysteria, and Death Speaker.
And Hysteria is a dual class card.
Yeah, dual
so he
class
could
card, so it
definitely
only
make
works in
decks.
So you just make a Tiller Warlock and Tiller Priest, which is exactly what Mr. Python did, and he did get wins with all of them.
Ew.
But aggro, those decks didn't perform great overall, and they rarely ever won the match because of how good aggro is in them. So like you could just bring complete full aggro lists and destroy them. So yeah, I mean,
All right. Yep.
Yeah, I will mention though I'm very unhappy with the way Blizzard has handled the nerf of that combo. But anyway, let's move on to the 3 seed. We've got Loomer versus Skittles. I guess just going by record, it looks like Loomer probably has a bit of the edge, although I know Skittles is a very good player, so I'm not going to count him
Yeah.
out. And
yeah,
then
you have
in the in the 4 seed, we've got Scritch versus Roni. I'm not sure how much Hearthstone Scritch is playing these days.
if it's
Actually,
not,
I'm gonna give it to Roni.
yeah, I can tell you he's playing a lot of TFT and a lot of League. Um, and I mean I know that I believe he was 2-0 starting the season. Seas of Cheese came out guns blazing. And
Mm.
they have started picking up match losses. But not obviously enough where they're 2-2. They are 3-1. But yeah, I mean, I fully believe that I would. I know Roni played a really tight series when they went up against F2 already in this team, and he ended up pulling out a really nice match win against a player on one of the 2 strongest teams. So I would definitely agree with you on that.
Then in the 5 seed, we've got Blue Sombrero versus Pasca. I'm gonna go with the theme that I've been going with. That these winless players, this is the week they're gonna get their wins. So I'm gonna give it to Pasca.
Hmm.
Nice. As long as he doesn't bring even Hunter to counter Secret Mage,
Yeah.
I believe that will work just fine.
Right.
But yeah, I do think that's a really good match. Really, we have one last match. I've picked F2L Viridian versus Everyone's a Winner matchup of the Titans. I'm so excited for this match. We've got the one seed match is Battle Tagger versus Corbett. Both of these players incredibly strong. I don't know if it's being streamed. I know there's a few matches in this series that are being streamed. So Marty B versus 6J. I believe that's gonna be on stream for Schoolstone. That's the 2 seed match. We have Absolute versus Neji Boston, the 3 seed match. That is being streamed tomorrow night on Thursday Night Throwdown. Sunday versus Itachi and Hazer versus the Rotted Zombie. So I think this is gonna be super close. I'm gonna give the 1 seed to Corbett because I mean it is really hard to pick. I think it'll be a tight match, but I will give it to Corbett because I know he's an insane player. 6J versus Marty B. I can't see the classes, so I can't really call like if it's favored for anybody, but I can tell you that I personally pull for Marty B as my hero teammate to win, but I will not be surprised if 6J beat. Absolute versus Neji. I love Neji, but I know Absolute is an insane player, and he was given a loss last week, which is why he's playing in the 3 seed, and that's and obviously Neji 3-1 as well. But I think I'm gonna give a slight edge to Absolute, but I know Neji's such a good player he can eat. Sunday versus Itachi. I'd like to give it to Itachi. But I think it can go either way. And Hazer versus Rotted Zombie. Rotted Zombie is an insane player. Him being 2-2 kind of surprises me, but I think he picks up the win. And I will say it's either I would say 3-2 or 4-1 for F12 Viridian, but we'll see how this plays out. It could go either way, I think.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a close one, but F12 Iridian for Wild is kind of like Hyper Horizon for Pro. They're such a force at this point.
They're reigning champs. So they're taken down. I will back them.
And they still and for the record, they still haven't lost at all. Like they didn't lose. They went completely undefeated last season, and they're currently undefeated now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right. So that is gonna do it for the matches portion. We could do a quick. So I figure, I know CMAC has a match to play. You could decide whether you want to just go ahead and go ahead and get ready for that, or if you want to take a couple of questions. We're not gonna do that many questions because we have to get all ready for the match.
I'm in a hurry. Let's squeeze in as many as we can.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
All right. I'll do the first one. Dr. Bomb wait. Yeah, Dr. Bomb D said, when you run out of questions, will he get to discover 5 more questions and shuffle 2 of each back into the pool?
Yes.
Great answer.
Okay, next question. This one comes from Diamond. Oh yeah, you're a warrior main. Name every warrior skin.
Oh, come on.
Every warrior skin. Well, we've got the standard one. We've got Corrupted Garrosh. We have Deathwing. Oh, we've got the I don't know what to call it. The new Garrosh you get from the Battle Pass system. There's also like what is it, Young Garrosh you can also get from the Battle Pass system. Oh, you've got a Magni.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, Magni, right? The hero with the best sorry emote.
Yes.
So I'm looking up now. Apparently, there's 5 different types of Garrosh, and then there's 3 others.
Yeah.
Which I think you've mentioned each of them.
And there's the one from the Battle Passes. Not a Garrosh.
Yeah, that one too.
Oh, the Valkyrie person. I don't know her name, but
on
yeah.
on
Actually,
Hilda.
that's the one I'm using right now.
On Hilda, yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Okay. I'll ask you one more question in a row now here. Diamond had very specific instructions for it, but what was the best part of Masters Tour Arlington? that you can remember.
That I can remember. Yeah, the first night was pretty cool, right? I was rooming with Avi and Storm, really cool roommates. Oh, and I guess Diamond was there also. Um, no, that was fun. That was the night we were prepping lineups. We somehow talked. I don't know if we did. We were talking about Highlander, Priest, and Diamond. I forget if we were able to talk him out of bringing it, but yeah, that was fun.
All right. Let's see.
Does that cover it, or
Um.
there's a couple more, right?
Yeah, I think the last one we can end on is Justin's final question.
Yeah, go for it, Justin.
Okay. I thought some time to think of this one up, but what's dumber? The worst first-year student you've taught, or priest players who Madame Lazul your Elysiana from your hand?
Oh my god.
um, that is a tough one. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the priest players who Lazul my Elysiana. That is very frustrating. If they're using my own cards against me, it's like top 10 anime betrayals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least theirs won't have the sunglasses, unlike your beautiful Discord profile picture.
This
Oh
is
my
true.
goodness.
That is true. All right, I think we're gonna bring this to a wrap. Thank you all for watching. Obviously, thank you CMac for coming on as a guest. Obviously, good luck in your match tonight against Brushy Tuna. Looking forward to watching it. I will just be opping it because casting it tonight is going to be Ron Mexico and Dragon Rider. Yes, Dragon Rider is going to be casting a THL match. That's super exciting. So I will give the rundown. Obviously, the rest of the matches for this weekend or weekend, starting on Thursday night throwdowns. We got Neji Boston versus Absolute at 8 p.m. Thursday. Wild Series match. We have a legacy match between Jolt C and Kodomora. That is Ticket is Punch versus Chaos Theory. That will be Brushy Tuna and Ron Mexico. Friday night fight is going to be casted by myself, Doctorfeesh, and Brushy Tuna. We have 3 matches. Legacy Red Conference, Brushy Tuna versus Surlo. So Brushy won't be casting the first one, obviously, but he will be joining after his match. That is Prep is for Rogues Not Pilots versus Dirty Mike and the Boys. Brushy versus Surlos. 9 p.m. Legacy Gold Conference, Hickett from Sir Finley Squires versus Bill Snyders of Swallows That Follows. We've got next, we actually get Turtles match. Turtle versus your Mumked. ATL versus Tonk. Hero Series Orange. Salty Saturday, I did not get any matches to report, unfortunately, but it will be Donde, and either maybe someone like Isocles or Brushy will be casting that. Sunday Showdown, Wild Series, 8 p.m. MTG Squirrel versus Wildcard. Wait. No, that is last week's matches. I did not copy these Sunday matches properly. I apologize. But that is another full house as well. Which is just going to check really fast. We have Hero Series, we have Pro Series, Pink Conference, Heat Shock versus Honest Zabe, Tap Washers versus Popeye Spicy Chicken Sandwich. At 9 p.m., Anfall versus Ducharmo, Hot Zilfs versus Dad Legend Legacy Series, Silver Conference, and then there will be a slate of Schoolstone matches. Saturday, going to start off with Agent PWE versus Nails at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's Legacy Gold Conference, and then 4 p.m., which will have Memnarch and Jailstorm casting. So this will be Jailstorm's first cast for Wild matches. Wild Series Green Conference, Marty versus 6J from the last match we just went over. And then Sunday matches we're going to have starting at 12 and ending or probably around 3 p.m. We have JR versus Taco Cat, Legacy Series Silver Conference. 1 p.m. Based Inc. from No Pros Here versus Grift of Sushi Rats. That is Pink Conference Pro Series. And then ending with Bill Snyder versus Myanodon which is Pro Series Ping Conference. Popeyes versus App Washers.
For the record, even though my team is well out of it, I am not going to be memeing this match. I don't meme no matter how out of playoffs my team is.
I appreciate that. Like,
So
definitely wanted to show up. Definitely wanting to show up.
And I was like, all right, you know what? Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Awesome. That's a good slate.
I'm also playing against my Pro Series teammates team. One of my Pro Series teammates teams this week. So this one is going to be like a friendly grudge match of sorts.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for Schoolstone. We will be back in a quick bit with Wicked Wednesday. We're going to have, like I mentioned, Brushy Tuna versus CMac in a Hero Series battle. So stay tuned. We will be back in short time. Hope to see you all then, and safe. Take care.
Take care, everybody.